So if you're Donald Trump and you're looking at like, what am I going to do to change a narrative? What can I do to impact a more positive outcome? There is no way to get a better outcome out of another set of moderators after what happened with the ABC debate. And on top of that, if Kamala Harris is going to be allowed to go to debates and ignore questions, flat ignore questions about the economy and immigration and not be pushed on that, that's not fair. And if the moderators are going to be able to try to fact check Trump with things that they say that turn out not to be true, that's also not fair. So to me, there's a ton of risk in it, and I don't think it's necessary.
So because we've done 2 debates and because they were successful, there will be no 3rd debate.
Quote, polls clearly show that I won the debate against Comrade Kamala Harris, adding she was a no-show at the Fox debate. He's referring to the September 4th debate that was proposed and accepted on the Trump side, and Harris turned that down. He goes on to say that she refused to do NBC and CBS. Kamala should focus on what she should have done. During the last 4-year period, there will be no 3rd debate.
In a surprising turn of events in the 2024 presidential race, former President Donald Trump has announced his refusal to participate in any further debates against Vice President Kamala Harris. This decision follows what many Trump supporters and observers have described as an unfairly moderated debate hosted by ABC. Trump has asserted that he has already secured victory in the public's eye, even after being thrown into the lion's den during the ABC-rigged debate. During the recent ABC-hosted debate, Trump faced off against Harris in what was supposed to be a fair exchange of ideas. However, Trump and his supporters quickly pointed out what they perceived as bias in the moderation, particularly when ABC News moderators David Muir and Lindsay Davis fact-checked Trump's statements in real time, a move unprecedented in presidential debates. Trump's camp argued that this approach was designed to favor Harris, who appeared overly prepared, leading to speculation that she might have had prior knowledge of the questions. Following the debate, Trump expressed his frustration on social media. This stance was echoed by Republicans and independents, criticizing the debate format and ABC's handling of the event. Comments also suggested Harris had an unfair advantage, possibly knowing the questions in advance, stirring significant controversy. In response to Trump's refusal for further debates, Harris was scheduled for an interview with ABC News, intended to showcase her policy positions and leadership qualities. However, the interview turned into a public relations disaster.
And Kamala could not get it together.
When we talk about bringing down prices and making life more affordable for people, what are 1 or 2 specific things you have in mind for that?
Well, I'll start with this. I grew up a middle-class kid, but a lot of people will relate to this. You know, I grew up in a neighborhood of folks who were very proud of their lawn, you know?
The question was, how are you going to bring down prices? And Kamala's answer was, I grew up around construction workers who took care of their lawns. And then I heard something about ambition and aspiration. So she has nothing to say and just runs out the clock with childhood stories.
Some people have a question, given maybe your current role as Vice President of the United States, how different you are from Joe Biden.
Well, I'm obviously not Joe Biden. And, you know, I offer a new generation of leadership. And maybe focusing on, again, the aspirations and the dreams, but also just recognizing that at this moment in time, some of the stuff we could take for granted years ago, we can't take for granted anymore.
It's a new way forward from Joe Biden. So how exactly are you a new way forward? She couldn't answer.
Plan that I have that is a new approach is to expand the child tax credit to $6,000.
Joe Biden's child tax credit is $3,000 and Kamala's is $6,000. Of all the things, border, inflation, crime, Israel, housing, the only difference between Kamala and Joe Biden is a $3,000 difference in the child tax credit.
New ideas, new policies that are directed at the current moment. And also, to be very honest with you, my focus is very much in what we need to do over the next 10, 20 years.
She's focused on today, but she's also focused on tomorrow. She doesn't have any new ideas. She can't say how she's different than Joe Biden, but she still looks completely lost.
Madam Vice President, how are you feeling about Pennsylvania?
I am feeling very good about Pennsylvania because there are a lot of people in Pennsylvania who deserve to be seen and heard. That's why I'm here in Johnstown. And I will be continuing to travel around the state to make sure that I'm listening as much as we are talking.
I'm feeling very good about Pennsylvania because there are a lot of people who deserve to be seen and heard. Who talks like that?
Harris struggled with basic economic questions and policy shifts, appearing visibly unprepared and failing to articulate her positions effectively. This performance fueled the narrative that her debate performance might have been artificially bolstered by knowing the questions beforehand. Social media reactions painted a picture of Harris looking like an idiot, further highlighting her perceived incompetence when not scripted. Political analysts dissected the interview, focusing on Harris's inability to provide concrete answers or demonstrate a deep understanding of key issues like inflation and foreign policy. This interview could have significant implications for Harris's political future, especially if she aims for the presidency. Her inability to convey a clear, confident message might embolden her critics and give ammunition to her opponents. The Democratic Party might find itself in a defensive position, explaining what many see as a fundamental lack of readiness. Trump's strategy now pivots towards direct engagement with voters through rallies and media appearances where he can control the narrative. Meanwhile, Harris's campaign might need to recalibrate, focusing on more controlled environments where she can better prepare. The 2024 election cycle has taken an unexpected turn with Trump's debate boycott, spotlighting issues of media bias and debate formats. As the campaign progresses, how these events influence voter perception and candidate strategies will be crucial. Trump's decision has set a new tone for his campaign, while Harris's interview has become a case study in political communication gone awry, potentially affecting perceptions of her competence and leadership.